Hello. I'm going to say a little bit today about the mind-body connection in an experience of long COVID or a similar health experience. Firstly, a massive weighted disclaimer that I'm not a medic, I'm not a doctor, I'm not speaking from that perspective, but I am speaking from the perspective of somebody who has been experiencing long COVID since March 2020 and shared the whole ride with you, the ups and downs and the bewilderment and the confusion, but also the stillness, like moments like these just sitting in the garden, and the learning that comes from it too. So it's a really tricky subject, and I know understandably it's quite emotive and divisive when we talk about a mind-body connection when it comes to physical healing, because the assumption is that it's all in the mind, and that's a massive amount of gaslighting, which unfortunately some of us have experienced, particularly from medics or maybe from family members or people that we know who just don't understand the experience. And just to be very clear, what I'm not saying is that this is all in the mind. That's absolutely 100% not what's happening. There's absolutely a physiological response, and it's a whole system response to something we still know very little about. There's obviously lots of research going on and wonderful sharing in groups like this one. But I thought it might be helpful just to share some personal insights, because like you, it's been a really hard experience sometimes for me, but I genuinely feel like there's been a lot of enrichment too when I get below the anger, hurt, confusion and some of the sadness that came with losing a life that felt like I had before. And I am very lucky to be pretty active, living a full life now with a few remnants of sensations, but nothing that really obstructs daily life. Just being mindful of parameters of fatigue. But it's just showed me so much about the role of the mind in this, really. And I think it's really important to clarify what the mind's job is. The mind's job is to protect, be vigilant, plan ahead, anticipate what's coming next, look for answers, look for black and whites, solid truths, find facts. And obviously that's what we've all been doing. We've all been scrambling around looking for magic bullets, slowly realising that perhaps there isn't one singular thing that prompts recovery. Perhaps it's a multitude of things that comes with a lot of self-compassion, a lot of self-love, exploration, letting go of what we thought we knew, which is all really hard, but actually really quite beautiful underneath. So the job of the mind is to keep the identity safe. It feels so much like it's about life and death in terms of keeping us safe from harm, but most of it is about keeping us psychologically safe so that our identity, our ego isn't exposed. And this experience has obviously exposed the ego a lot, with a lot of fear around what does this mean for me, and also a lot of identification. I have long COVID, I am long COVID, I live within these parameters. Those kind of statements that prompt us to really become the condition almost and get so close to it that we forget to see the space around it. And that's completely understandable. I certainly do it sometimes. If there's a series of sensations, I'll start desperately looking out there for answers and then remembering that it's all within. It's all within. And really, when we understand the role of the mind, we start to see there's a much wider, vast sense of beingness. The quiet space before thought, the moment we wake up and there's just nothing until thought starts racing in. The moments of flow, even if they are teeny tiny, when we are immersed in life. There's not a massive narrative and commentary going on in the mind about what the sensations mean, why they're flaring up, what we can do to fix it. And I think this is the healing space, truly. It's the space of relaxation. It's the space of surrendering the need to know everything and just coming back to that beautiful, quiet space that allows the nervous system to go into rest and digest. And understandably, the nervous system is wired to be on fight or flight. It's constantly alert, which is why all our responses are ramped up in the body. because the body is trying to keep us safe because the mind is telling us it's under threat. So our realization is to say it's okay for that to happen, to watch the sensations come and go, and to know that they say absolutely nothing about the vastness of what we truly are. I hope that's helpful in some way. Do let me know your feedback. Lots of love.